Are you looking for a mechanical keyboard on a budget for under $50 with RGB lights and interchangeable switches? Well, look no further. MoreTechSir here, leading you through the wonderful world of technology. We do reviews, how-tos and a whole lot more. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. So we're just going to give you a quick rundown of what's in the keyboard. So we've got mechanical modular switches, which I did mention at the start. We've got blue, brown, and this keyboard's got the red switches. Now the switches themselves are Altium switches. It is a 8710 keyless keyboard, so we haven't got any number pad on this at all. You've got a gold-plated USB connector, which is always great to see on this device for the actual price. And that's pretty much everything you need to know. We've got 50 million keystrokes on it, so the lifespan on it is amazing. Now the back plate is metal alloy, and you'll see what I mean later on in the video. Now when you type on it, you do get a springy sound feeling to the keycaps. Now you'll see that in the touch test later on, but as I say, this is something that doesn't really bother me. It may bother yourself, but over time you will get used to the sound and it will just become the norm like with anything. But there is a couple of things you can do if you want to try and dampen this sound. You can get some O-rings and put them on your switches and your keycaps. You can also get some different keycaps. And if you want to go the full 9 yards and you just can't stand it, well, you can actually take the keyboard apart and put some noise reduction foam in there if that's something you'd like to do, just so you don't have that springy noise. But for me, you don't really notice it. I've changed my keycaps over, and once I did that, I didn't really notice it anymore. Now what it does come included with, as what we can see on the screen now, it comes with 5 different switches. So I've got 5 spare red switches. It also comes with a little prong so you can get these out. Not gonna lie, it is a bit difficult at times, but we can normally get them out pretty easy. It also comes with a keycap remover, which is on the back of the keyboard, and that's pretty much it. What you also get as well, which is something that you don't see a lot on keyboards, is actually a nice little cap for the USB. So if you ever taken this on the travels and you don't want the USB gold plated connector to get damaged, you can just put the little cap on it and it will keep it nice and snug and safe. So what we're going to do first is show you how to remove the switches. So you need this little device here, and we've got 3 because sometimes they're a bit tricky and you really need to put some force on it. You need to get the plungers or the tweezers, and on the actual switches, you can see here, you'll actually have 2 little prongs that are here. So if you can see them, you need to clamp them down and then it will release the key. So here we go, we're going to try it anyway. So as I say, it's a bit tricky. There we go, we got it out pretty easy. So that's one out. So now you can actually see, if we bring it up, what it's actually like inside. So these are interchangeable, guys. If you're not a fan of red, you can always go with the blues or browns, whichever one you fancy. So all we have to do as well, if we are going to put it back in, just slot it in, get it nice and snug so it fits when it wants to fit, and there we are. It's nice and snug and all back in. So what's great about this as well, it does come with some spares. So if for any reason you mess up the keyboard taking one of these out, or one of the pins goes funny, you have also got spares. So that's how you remove switches. Now what I want to do now is actually delve into the actual software that comes with the keyboard. So as you can see, we've got the TechWare software up now. So I'm just going to show you an example really quickly of what it can do. We've got React Single on there, so I'm just going to show you this now. So there you go, like so. We can do it again with a couple of letters. Now we're going to move on to a different one. I'm just going to show you some of the different ones that we've got. As I say, for this price point, you do have a lot in this arsenal. There we go, it's going a bit mental at the minute. Well, that's one of them, that's called Sine Wave. and let's have a look at one of the others. So we're going to go down, we're going to go on to Pulse Wave. Now I really like this one, and as I say, you've got a variety of different colours. Let's check yellow out. Nice and bright. We can even do multicolour if we want to be extravagant. And we can also slow the speed down and the brightness. So if we go down the brightness, it'll go further and further and further till we can't see it. So the brightness is good, I'm not going to lie. It could be a bit better, but for what you're getting, I think it does the job well. And you can also do the speed. So we can get it really, really slow, like that, slow motion. And let's have a look at a couple of other things. What's great about it as well, we're just going to turn this off multicolour at the moment. And we're just going to put it on something really, let's do the Vortex. So at the minute, what's great is we can actually also do macros. So we could call something, if you're playing RPG, something like that, and you want to put macros in, or if you're playing a first person shooter and you've got certain loadout you want to load up, this is where you would do that. So it's great to see on this keyboard that you can actually do macros. There's no specific buttons for it, like on some keyboards you have separate macros, but you can assign whichever keys you want to these. I like to do the M1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 just because they're highlighted there, so I'll know which ones are what for the macros. So that's a nice little feature that is built into it. Also, we can disable it if you don't want it on at all. Once you do disable it, it will just stick to whichever LED lighting show that you've already got on. So we're going to enable it again, and we're just going to put it as custom for now. So I've got it for customers now. This is another great feature as well. If you want to have different key colors, you can. So as you can see, this is one of my first person shooter setups. I don't know why we've got R there at the moment, but we can erase that. So we'll just erase that button there, and we'll also erase this as well. So it's my first person shooter setup, WASD, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the weapons. You can change these in colors in whichever way you want. So again, as I say, there's a lot of playability in this, and customization in what you can do. You've also got different profiles as well, so you get 3 different profiles. So if you want to change them, you want to have one for, let's say, different kind of games, you can do that also. We're just going to go back onto profile 1, and then we're just going to enable it, and we're just going to go onto fixed color for now. So we're just going to put it as blue because that's one of my favorite colors. We'll just go on apply and then press OK, and then once it's done it, it's there, done and dusted. Now everyone will be asking about a touch test, so we're going to get onto that now. I'm just going to lower the mic, and then you'll be able to listen to what it actually sounds like. So, TechWare's Phantom mechanical keyboard. Is it worth it? Hell yes, it's worth it. For the price, you can't go wrong. You've got RGB lighting, you've got interchangeable switches. So if you're a fan of them blue or them brown switches, you can change them out like you want. And for the price, as I say again, I'm going to keep going back to that price. You cannot knock this keyboard. Yes, there is a couple of downfalls with it, with the, as we mentioned, with the RGB lighting not really coming through on the keycaps. But an easy resolution to that would be to actually just buy some new keycaps, which is not a problem. You can pick them up this day and age for anywhere from 10 up to £200 if you want to go that extreme. As always, guys, thank you so much for being here, and don't forget to please like, rate and subscribe. And if you're new to the channel, we've got various other videos down below now. We do quite a lot of tech reviews on retro handhelds as well. They seem to be booming this year, so we've got a few reviews down there and how-tos. We've also got some videos on OBS on how to reduce the background noise on your video if you're a streamer and you're looking to do that. So go and check them out. But until next time, guys, as always, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.